Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Party Wipe, episode 7. We're making a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. Hey, Lost Sleep Games, how's it going? Nix, how's it going? You pop by for your stream streak? You go play some Gothic 1 remake. Nice, nice. Is it a remake or a remaster? I don't even remember. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. Party wipe. I would love to start more of these episodes with more narrator quotes. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Running out of coffee is also a slow, insidious killer. And I'm out of coffee. That's fine. I guess we'll drink some water. I guess, if we must. How's everyone doing? We're back. Episode 7. We're on our second week here. We're a couple days into week 2 of Party Wipe. We're doing good. Might as well just bring up the project. I did a little bit yesterday to actually get the cards moving around, which is new. Basically just copying the way that the Simple Cards plugin does it for now, and then we'll branch off the behavior as it makes sense. You're going through it on your own game, but you're managing. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, we got card draw and we got card discard, which is new. I still only have the one card, and I am not pleased with this. When you mouse over the card, I want it to, like, do a hover outline and move up a little, which is eminently feasible, but I have to write a little animation to do those things, to add in an overlay. But we can move cards around. It's meaningless because they're all the same. I did swap the suit side to be the other side, and I clearly misaligned it slightly. But I swapped it to the other side so that you could see it when they're, like, collected. But yeah, I could end my turn. I discard my hand. I draw a new hand. Obviously, we need additional steps here. I did a little bit more with the UI menu stuff at the top. I added some little stupid accents. I'm having fun with it. Hey, Nanigans, how's it going? I liked your update this morning. It was looking good. Thanks for the hydrate, Nix. Maybe no more epic music. I want, like, a chill radio that's appropriate for working on this kind of stuff, but that doesn't exist. I have a lot of, like, folksy kind of stringed music I could play, but I don't think any of it's YouTube safe. So I will not. We'll just do this. We'll just chill. Made some progress. Yeah, a little bit of progress. Nothing except the, like, this system fails a little if you, like, are quickly trying to grab cards. But I think that's okay, because this isn't like Slay the Spire. You're not going to have, like, 5 shivs in your hand, and you're just not going to be just throwing things out. So you need a little bit of a grab here. But we can discard, we can redraw. That's all we can really do. But we're working on it. We're working. Small thing. It was a dopamine hit with it coming together. Yeah, that's why I end up working on these little UI things. Like, I arguably don't need an end turn button that has a hover animation or a press animation, right? I arguably don't need this. But I have it, so there's something I wanted to do. I don't know if I love the way that I did it. Might make a change to that. But yeah, I made some card hover stuff. So I moved the card over. Oh, you know what I did? The misalignment is because I moved these. So there's like a hover state and a press state. And I know I could do this with a shader. There's a reason I'm not doing it with a shader. It's because I want the inline. So I want to hook those up. But what I really want to do is change this intern sprite. I thought I would like it if I swapped the colors, but I don't like it. So we're gonna not do that. Thought I was gonna like it. I'm gonna go back to the previous colors. The color swap stands out too much. Run that, see if I like that better. Hey, Sapphire, video only. No worries. Work won't kill your stream streak. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I want some card. We are very close to not having enough room. Very close. But it's okay. I think I'll have the cards stick up rather than out, just so that we leave this margin here. But yeah, this is all right. I got most of this for free. Most of the prettiness of this comes from the plugin. So, pretty neat. We need to be able to play cards, though. We need to be able to play cards onto the roster and onto the battlefield. So that's something I'll need to work on. I also need to just make cards. I need to fix the card layout, though. I moved the icon frame a little bit, and then I realized that I actually needed to move the little guy, too. Forgot to do that. Forgot to move the little guy. LSG, you've decided you're not working on Crypt ID on stream for the foreseeable future. Now you're going to do a 1-hour writing session before stream. You're going to switch over to your Windows 98 prototype. Nice. Yeah, there's a certain point, I think, where the stuff that you have left to do on a game is not the most streamable. And if you care about spoilers and stuff, then it really isn't something you should be streaming. So I get it. I don't love the way the Z index stuff is happening here. I don't love that the cards are being drawn arbitrarily from the top and the bottom. But that's like a very nitpicky plugin thing that I am not going to dig into right now. I'm just going to live with that. I do want a focus animation, because we can easily do a focus animation. You can see an example of a focus animation. You're ripping out all the 3D stuff from Crypt ID, paring back the scope. You had a bit of an identity crisis after stream. I feel that. That was me a couple weeks ago. Except I had an identity crisis before stream, and then we just leaned into it. Which is all you can really do. Am I going to leave this? Yeah, I'll move this over here for now. So if we go to like the Balatro example, and we play the Balatro example, there's this card bobbing that it does. I don't know if I love the card bobbing, but what I do love is the animation for selection and for hover. The system frames these as animations, which is like more than what I need, but I'm just gonna go with it. Their cards are so wee. Made the UI so big. So yeah, I gotta look at some stuff. We gotta set up a mat, a playable mat for this. This text also feels like it's too tight compared to the other two. I think I need to make this bigger. I did this stupid thing where I added these plus signs so that you could see how much room was in your roster. And it like goes down as you add characters to it. I think is dumb but neat. So when you add one character, how's it going, Gabor? I don't remember if I called out your message, but you're like, damn, this is done already. I'm a little ridiculous in my prioritization. I admit, and this will resize, and I have to redo all of these apparently because I changed the size for all of them, I guess, or no? Yeah, wait, why didn't that work? Resize. Oh, it's bigger. It's bigger now. Okay. Thought I fixed that. I might make it even bigger. 74? No. 76? Yeah. Can I just save? Yeah.
Just wanted to call you early and say Happy New Year.
What if we had 2?
I get 2 blackout or brown out.
Okay, that's good.
One of the browns. I mean out. Whatever. Love you, kid. Bye.
So yeah, it goes from an empty roster. Why did I call this empty? I should just call it 0 tabs or something. And it's like, oh look, there's room for 4, and then as you go, it'll drop from 3 to 2 to 1 to 0. I'm thinking about having a minus for these ones for when you're over full, but I think that's kind of dumb. Yeah, as we fill up on roster entries. And we also obviously have the character sheet version. So I got to get this part all interacting, the like roster part. I got to get this sorted out. Is this too big? Yeah, it's fine. So we need to work on that for sure. Oh, that was the wrong one. But yeah, I might be over favoring like aesthetics. But whatever. Hi, Sapphire. 130 stream streak. Incredible. Yeah, I think that's reasonable, LSG. You're just keeping crypt ID to the UI stuff, accepting it's not going to be groundbreaking. You just need to get your first game out there. I think that's the right attitude. Nanigans, you got a Godot talk paused on YouTube, the title of which feels like the devil on your shoulder for you. It's called How Rejecting the Productivity Mindset Can Make Your Game Stand Out. That's hilarious. I should watch that too. Yeah, I'm excited about all the new Godot con talks. I'm excited to check them out. All right, so what I need to do is make some new animations. I also need the thing to be playable, but, you know, let's focus on animations. We go back here, we look at our add-ons, simple cards. Card animation resource, pre-built animations. So there's these animations that we've got. I'm interested in the fade one because I think that's the closest to what we're gonna do. So we use tweens, it's fine. I think we'll have 2. I think I'll have a hover animation for when you hover and then a press animation for when you click down. So you can see if you've clicked and dragged. This plugin is very asynchronous. There's a lot of awaits. I'm okay with that. So there's fade in and fade out. I guess I need hover in and hover out. And then so the way their system works is you grab your card, you grab whatever your standard card is, standard card resource, or is it layout? It might be layout. Grab your standard card resource. And yeah, you can have a focus in animation and a focus out animation. You can also have flip animations, which is pretty sick. Focus in and focus out, I think, is just for hover. Oh no, that's for press. Looks like that's for press. Let's see again. Nope. Okay, so that's for hover, and then when you press, that does a select thing. But I know we can track that because they do a thing on select, and so we can do that too. And we'll have multiple tiers. I do kind of like this idea of you can like lift this card out like this. You can do a select and maybe it'll show you like now you can like deploy the card or whatever. I want you to be able to grab the card and do it too, but some people might not want to do that. Some people might want to just do, I'm going to play this. And then now you can like put it on the grid or put it in like a character spot or something. What we should do is we should open the character sheet for whatever suit this thing is, if there's a suit associated with it. Some cards won't have a suit associated with it. There are common cards like potions and food and stuff, but I want to do some of this stuff. So we need to update my card suit is neat. What am I doing? We're going to go into our card resource. Base card. Our card resource or our card layout? I think resource. No, let's do both. Here's the layout. Card resource. We have a card icon. We have a card name. We have a card level. I also want a card suit. Card suit. Do I need to say it's an enum? What I think I want is I want a... Am I going to have this on the base card resource? Yeah. Yes. I'll say suit. That'll be an enum. And that will equal... I never remember how to declare a GD script enum. I think it's that. And what we'll do is we'll say none. Enum modifier. Oh, no, you don't set it. Okay, suit. Right. Godot handles enum is kind of weird. That's not it. I just looked at this. Oh, there's no colon. There's also none of this either. It's just totally unadorned, huh? Enum. Oh, enum, not var. Okay, I was like, why isn't this working? Enum. GD script. I never remember how you work. Okay, we got Bard. We got Knight. We've got, who are other starting characters? Bard, Knight, Ranger, and Wizard. That's what we got so far. Should I say none or should I just say common? I'll say none. And then card suit is a suit. suit that we can associate with our card, which is important. You know what we're gonna need is a series of suit icons. And I think I had these out in the layout here, so maybe we do this in the layout. So we have card levels. And that's not really right. So what we want to do is we want to say like card borders, maybe. And we index them by level. Card border by level. Could be a dictionary, but you know, might as well be an array. Although I would like to not have to do the math on this, so maybe we do just make it a dictionary. Maybe we just don't care. Because then we can also say is like, say card base by level, and border by level is fine. We could also say at export variable card suit, no, card icon. Here, let's say card level borders. I'm going to leave it as a dictionary. And then we'll say card suit icons. Make that also dictionary. And we don't need to do this math stuff to fix the indexing. Say card level borders. I could even just say texture. Say borders. We got the card level borders. We got this card suit icons. So let's hook those up, I guess. Why not? Base card layout. So we'll say 1. Quick load. Do we have a texture? Yeah, it looks like we do. 2. How's everyone doing this week? Quiet start to the week here. We're just crunching along. It's crazy to think that this game did not exist like 2 weeks ago. I mean, arguably it's still not a game because there's nothing happening, but crazy how quickly this has come together. It does kind of prove out this idea. I hear it more in marketing than anything else, but it's like there are ideas, there are games that design themselves, there are ideas that market themselves. I'm definitely feeling some of that. So if someone comes into this with a 0, we know we have a problem. Same thing here. So we'll say 1. Actually, should this say base card resource dot suit? Probably, right? Just in case those change. Hey, Magoo, how's it going? All right, so I don't actually have most of these icons set up, so I actually can't do this. Out. So now what do I do for this? So if this... Does this just become an int? Does this not care? It doesn't care. It doesn't seem to care. But we'll leave it. So it just converts to the int value. That's fine. Let's do that then. Let's make the Atlas textures for our starting units. So textures, we will say suits. Actually, maybe we say heroes. Seems reasonable. Calling them suits feels rude. It's like, what are they, corpo scumbags? James Tiberius Iliad, y'all are hilarious. How's it going, Arneo? What's up? What's up in Arneo world? All right, so we've got our night texture. We've got our lovely night atlas texture. So now we just make more. So we'll just make a new atlas texture. This will be the Bard Atlas texture. This helps because this lets me have enemy versions of these too, because some of these are, you know, going to be unlockable. Human sprite. Size 16 by 16. We are going over by 48. Bard. This is our Bard. We love the Bard. Okay. It's a great icon, the Bard icon. Maybe the best in the set, if I'm being honest. Still deciding if I'm gonna do a capsule art that's like hand-drawn art, like what you're supposed to do, or if I'm gonna do something pixel arty. If I do something with the pixel art, I'm definitely going to use the Bard predominantly. It's such a good looking icon, but I'm tempted to pay an artist to like actually make a real capsule image. I feel like that'll be a real indicator of quality. I feel like if it's my own thing, it'll look kind of jank, but I don't know. Okay, Knight, what did I say? Ranger? Ranger. Okay, nothing better than quick load, huh? Just not having a hard time here. Arneo, you should be troubleshooting export problems. You're still recovering from the outdoor shock of the last few days. Oh, what did you do outdoors? Or do you just have, like, terrible allergies? Because that's always what kills me this time of year. I live on the coast, so for me, it's usually just foggy and cool. I know other people in other parts of the world experience weather. I've only heard about that via, you know, other people. Strange tales of far off lands. Who's last? Wizard. Wizard, Atlas, texture. All right, that's the big four. That's the starting four. You love to see them. So you're 3 over 1. Oh, you're 2 over 1 down. 3 down. Okay. So 32 over, 48 down, and you're 16 by 16. There's our Wizard. Okay, you like it? Looks good, looking good. And all right. Oh, you know what we got to do about this? We got to change this icon. At icon. I made SVGs of the icon. I know I shouldn't be wasting time on stuff like that, but you know, it only took a few minutes and it lets me have stuff that actually looks correct, which I like. I find that the only way I can make this stuff work is if I just work on the next thing that seems the most obvious to me, even if that thing is tiny and even if the thing doesn't really matter. I find myself doing that a lot. And you know what? It's all right. It's all right. Base card layout. That did not work. Why didn't that work? Is this a different file? Oh, this doesn't actually extend anything. That's why. Well, I should do that. This one's good. Okay, yeah, there's the icon. I love that these came with nice little icons. I'll fix the other one later. I have to extend that, or it's not going to work. All right, so here are all of our level borders. I want to call these card backs, but that's like not the correct name. Oh, now it's got the enum hooked up. Neat. Okay, so now I can put in a named enum. So I can say bard, and then I can say the icon for the bard is this atlas texture. Let me go look at bard. Bard atlas texture. There we go. Now I can keep going. I can say knight. Oh, look at that. Bard icon. Man, Godot's editor is good. Man, it's a good editor. Grilled some vegan sausage in a cool location. There's a little remote for the bicycle. Oh, very nice, very nice. Ranger. The Ranger. Get our Ranger in here. I think it's a good mix of colors, the starting four. We got red, gray, green, and blue. It's all right. It's an all right starting set, I think. Seems like the most vanilla RPG party I could have come up with for this group. All right, and that's it. So those are the starting suit icons. So those will get plugged in for whatever. So in fact, I don't really want to hard code this, but that involves me actually having to make the rest of the cards. And, you know, maybe we start working on that soon. Because right now, all I've got are night cards. An endless number of night cards. Hey, Indie Gates, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. Which we could do a lot even with just this one card. Like, I could get the roster working with just one card. We could get the leveling up mechanic working with just one card. We could get the placement onto the tactical battle map with just one card. I like how it does this kind of thing. Pretty neat. Really neat how all of this works. Really like it. The only thing I don't like is that weird... the way it deals. The visual way that it deals, which is fine. I think that's just some Z indexing stuff that we can extend or figure out. Sort out. Anigans, there's the one thing you can say you have not done is fiddle with icons for things in the editor, lol. You've color-coded your folders. Yeah, I don't like that. That's not for me. But man, the editor icons... I'm usually not big on the editor, but this plugin came with all of these nodes and icons for the nodes, and I really appreciate them. I might even go so far as to, like, set up icons for these resources. Depends. Probably not, though. That would be maybe a bridge too far. The layouts, though, the layouts I should do. Assuming I need multiple layouts. I have to decide how I'm going to do the layouts. I mean, I've figured out the layout. I just have to decide how. I think I have to do each layout by hand because each one has a different text, and the text needs to be repositioned. So I do feel like these are not going to be... Well, the icons can be plugged in via reference. I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. How do you set the icon of the scenes classes? So if you have a custom class, you can go in here and you can have an @ icon. And then you can just specify texture. It's better to use SVGs because they can scale with the editor. So do like just a nice little icon.svg. These ones don't. You'll see if I open up like my base card layout or my card back layout. You see how tiny that icon is? It's because the people that made the plugin did the icons with PNGs, which can't scale with the editor. So just use SVGs. I'm tempted to like submit a pull request to like fix that. We'll see. Indie Gates, you're good. You got a new onboarding update? You think now the players know what it is, what they got to do? You like it? The cards are nice in the animation? Nice. Thanks. LSG, you have yet to do custom icons for your... See, I don't know if you can do it for the resources. But you can do it for anything that extends a class. So yeah, I guess I could do it for the base card resource here if I really wanted. But I don't think I would for this. I think it would only be if I had to have classes for specific, like, suits or card types or something. I don't think I'm going to go that far, though. I don't think I'm going to go that far. But yeah, having it for all these different plugin classes is really nice. So like I can see where the card decks are, where the piles are, the hand is. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. They're really buttons. They're really just it's really just buttons all the way down. What I should do is I bothered to set up a card suit. So card size, card resource. So yeah, I should pre-plug in the resource. That's what I should do. So the animations are what we need to do now. We need to sort out these animations. So base card resource. Yeah, I bothered to set a suit, so we'll set that to be the knight suit. Could I just get the name from the suit? Is there a way to grab a suit's name? Or an enum's name? I guess I wouldn't want that, because it's all caps and stuff. We'll just keep the name separate. I actually don't need to know the suit name for almost anything. Iconify is a great resource for SVG icons. Oh, neat. Yeah, I love that these were little pixel art ones. They felt very much like they belonged. I think they made them too small. I think they made them like 16 by 16 and they should be like 32 by 32 or something, but yeah, whatever. It looks good. I don't mind. I like it. I like it. It's good enough for me. So what do we want to do? I think rather than make all our cards, which is the thing I could totally do, and we could waste all our time making a bunch of cards, I think the thing we should do is make it so we can actually play the cards. And so I think to do that, what I need is to have a play mat here. And I think what I need to do here is I add a mat. I add a card mat. It's a simple panel that detects when cards are dropped on it, which I think is neat. And I think what I do is I put it... I either have it match the size of this, or I have it underneath and expand and like very expansive. And I would put it under this. I would say like party, roster, mat. I don't think... So what I'm having to override all these style boxes. I don't like the default one. I don't like actually to see that stuff back there. Because one, it's not like, it's like done with like a polygons. It doesn't look right. Especially against the corners here. So we're just going to get rid of that. Replace it with an empty style box. What we want to do is we want to extend this. We want to give this we want to extend a script for it. I haven't decided where I'm going to put all of these scripts yet. Extends card mat, icon. Uses this one. I don't know if I love the UID. I kind of prefer when it's a path, because then I can actually see what's there. It would say like icons dot icon card mat instead of just this absolute gibberish. But who cares? Yeah, the C# syntax would not help me, Nanigans. But I appreciate it. You can also change the enum to be strings instead of auto-incrementing ints. Oh, yeah. I could do that. This is fine. There's probably some reason I want it to be ints, but... yeah, no worries. All right, so we've got this mat. The real question is, do I resize it? I think the answer is yes. So I think it actually becomes a child of the back. And it's just full... it should just be anchors and it should just be full rect. And then this way we can play onto the mat. And then the mat should update. So if I... what in the... oh, there's a focus. Card on mouse entered. This control can't grab focus. Use set focus mode and set focus behavior recursive. Right. Okay. I gotta set up the keyboard focus eventually. You like using the UUIDs just because you dislike having things tied to a file path or whatever? Yeah, I get it. It's just nice to be able to see what I'm plugging in sometimes. I generally prefer some human readable thing. All right, so do I need to reopen this scene to get this icon to repopulate? Yep, and there it is. Got a nice big icon for the party roster mat. And then the party roster back is just the aesthetic. And then so if we update that, where did I even put that? Cards. Nope. Sprites. I need to settle on how I'm going to organize stuff in this project. Sometimes I like doing the thing where I organize it by type. I organize it exclusively by like, here are all the sprites. But then I'll be like, okay, here are all the cards. And then I'd also have that for like scripts and everything else. And then so occasionally I like flipping it around where I'm like, okay, here's everything for the cards. And then you'll be like, here are the scripts and the sprites and the whatever. A little rough here because these sprites are, the sprites at least are set up as atlases mostly. So they don't fit into that convention. But it's annoying. It's annoying. File organization is annoying. It's always a series of trade-offs. And whatever you end up going with, the other one seems like it would have been better. All right. Where the F is the roster? I don't even know. Oh, it's a texture. It's a texture atlas, not a sprite. What I should is I could have an atlas folder and then I could have sprites and textures. That's terrible. Forget I said that. Okay, so if I resize this to whatever, does the mat also resize? Yeah, of course it does. Great. And so all we really need... so then I arguably actually don't need the mat. Or I arguably don't need the back. No, I want the back because it constrains the size and the positioning of the mat. But what I do need to do then is I need to say that the back does not consume input. Mouse. Filter, pass. Okay, it propagates forward. That should be sufficient. You kind of do a hybrid of the two. Yeah. Godot wants you to do the version where you're like, you have all the different types of assets for a specific thing in one folder. And you can tell it wants that because when you create a scene and then you attach a script, it just looks in the same folder as the scene, right? And it's like, how else would it do that? But it wants you to lay them out together. So I'm like, well, why am I fighting the engine on that? It's just easier to just go along with what they want. But yeah, so this will get resized. So we'll put, so you actually need to know something. Whose job is it going to be to figure this out? Probably put it on the mat. Someone has to keep track of... Why did I do it that way? Party, roster, mat. You could just say party mat. Party mat. Party mat extends card mat. And then party mat is going to have... Party mat is going to have a list here of textures. We'll say... Let's say something like matte textures. And that can just be an array, actually. An array of texture 2Ds. So whose job is it going to be to organize and keep track of all of this? I'm tempted to make it the Matt's job, but I could see the party roster back having this job as well. In fact, I don't even need to call this the back, do I? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to say party roster. I'm going to give you a script. And then the party roster Matt can remain. Actually, we'll probably rename you to just be Party Matt. Who reminds me of Party Pat. Party Pat. Last name party roster extends texture rect. Party mat just lost its icon for some reason. Don't quite understand why. What happened to your icon? Is this one not set to scale? Yeah, it does. That's the right file. Okay, so matte textures. We're gonna not have this here. We're trying to take inspiration from our plugin to like separate concerns very clearly. An @ready variable party mat. Oh, we're playing the game. I was like, why is none of this working? Or why is none of this updating correctly? We're like in a playthrough. So if I close this and reload it. Okay, I got my icon back. I don't like that I have to reload scenes. Hey, Hamburger, how's it going? Thanks for the hydrate. Oh, went for my coffee. Let's go for the water. How's it going, Hamburger? What have you been up to lately? I know you've been streaming a bit. Yeah, it's a good mug. It's definitely a W mug. On the back it says you'll almost never see the back because I drink it with my left hand, but on the back it says, "Don't have a cow, man." It's really good. This was a gift from a friend long ago. It's my favorite water mug because it's just an absolutely enormous mug. I don't know what it holds, but it probably holds like at least 18 ounces of water, if not more. I think it's a little smaller than 20, but it's close. And yeah, it always reminds me not to have a cow. Because that's what I just see every time I go up to take a drink, is I see a reminder not to have a cow. Man. I am old, but I can say Bart Simpson is older than me, which is pretty crazy when I think about it. It's not an invitation to guess my age. Hamburger, you're doing good. You just found out after 2 months of struggling with Unity physics. Find out you did the rigid body position instead of rigid body add force. Oh no. Yeah, not doing add force. You're removing them outside of the physics calculation. That can be rough. Hey Remus. How's it going? Yeah, I could see why you would have clipping. I could see how that might happen. I need to close all of these. I'm like, this script list is too long. I can't keep track of this anymore. Okay, we got the party roster. We've got the party mat. We're only missing party Pat. So we've got our party mat. So let's add a texture. Let's add, how many of these do we need? So we got 0, which is going to be, 0 is going to be roster empty, which was dumb. Party roster empty. And then we'll just go through the tab list. Roster, party roster. I'm gonna take some of the, I'll fix the files a little later. I realize I don't need to call this the roster back. It's just the roster. But I don't, that doesn't actually matter very much. So that's 2. Wait, what happened to 1? I did this wrong. Roster. Oh, there's 1. Roster. 2. So these should get bigger as I add them. Roster 3. Yep. Roster 4. Roster 5. Looks a little weird, but I think that's just a clipping issue of some kind. Let me double check. There isn't like a weird width, is there? Nope. All I need to do is add the roster with the character sheet, which one is that one? I actually don't know which one that one is. Is that this one? Did I already add it? That is that one. Okay. So wait, I missed one. No, I didn't. So lucky number 7. Okay, so yeah, the mat will increase. I'm really hoping it automatically updates the size whenever that happens. Let's see. Container nodes update this property automatically. Love it. You love to see it. Oh, we're heading into ads. Hold on to your ads, everybody. Yeah, that sucks, Hamburger. But I'm glad you figured it out. The lesson is abandon Unity. That's always the lesson. Good lesson. You're planning on it. Yeah. The takeaway is always stop using Unity. That won't fix that problem. You can still have that problem in Godot. There's nothing stopping you from just doing that to yourself in Godot as well, but, you know, at least you'll be in Godot. All right, so I wanted a thing here. Yeah, so I got my textures, I got my party mat, and then so what we want to do... So what is the party mat? The party mat has some signals. Card dropped. Mat hovered. Mat unhovered. Oh, so we're gonna want some... We're gonna want some hover textures. Card entered. Emitted when a card starts hovering over this mat. Well, let's just do dropped. Let's do dropped. And I'm just gonna connect this by hand. I know I could connect this via script. And that might be better. But we're just gonna connect it in the editor. On party mat, card dropped. We can just say on card dropped. And then we're going to put that on the roster. So what we will need is we'll need to keep track of who's in the roster. Welcome back, Hamburger. Yeah, that's rough. Those kinds of errors are always demoralizing. But, you know, you'll never make that mistake again. And that's just how we learn. All right, variable. What we want is we want like a mat. How about like a roster count? Roster count, int. We'll have an at export variable roster limit. So here's the one thing. Here's something. Here's something that might be... I should do this slightly differently. There should be a base class. I should create a base class. Also, where are all my scripts? There they are. We'll say unit roster. We'll say this inherits a texture rect. And then party roster is going to extend to the unit roster. Because the enemy roster will have some common functionality here. And I don't mind a single level of inheritance here. So these fields we can take. So int roster limit. How do we do the property hint? I want to have it. I want a hint. Hint. Property hint. I don't remember how to do that with a hint. How do I set this up? It's not quite what I want. I don't remember. I don't remember how to do that. Hey, your game just loaded on your itch page. It looks terrible and stretchy and some UI was invisible for some reason, but by God did it load. Well, that's a start. That's the start. You have a demo available? Drop it in the showcase chat or something on the Discord and I'll check it out. Maybe not right this second, but I would like to check it out. I don't remember how to do the property hint thing. I'll do that later. Oh, wait, no, I did that somewhere else. Where are we doing that? I'm doing that somewhere. Where did I set up a property hint? Is it you? Is it you? No, somewhere we are specifying this, and I don't remember where. Oh, you know what? It's the resource. It's the card resource, I think. Export range. Okay, that's slightly different, but... Can export range specify just a min? So that's all I really need. Min, max, step. Looks like no. Who cares? There's only so many guardrails that we need on a project that has one developer, and I sometimes get carried away with that. All right, so we're gonna put the matte texture thing here, but we're not gonna use it. That probably got lost though. I probably need to set these up again. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, there it's gone. Oh yeah, it's gone. Oh wait. No, it's not gone. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. It remembers somehow by some miracle. Roster count also is probably something that we would have here. So the thing that would be different is the on card dropped behavior. And the mat. Although we do need to know what the mat is. Do we? Yeah, because we need to know... At export variable, we could say roster texture, I guess. Ah, you were missing like the WASM and stuff. Yeah, Butler's pretty good. All right, so I do need to know about it here. Oh no, you have a texture, but that's not your texture. Or is it? Oh no, that's totally your texture. Great. Okay, no, we don't need a reference to that here. Beautiful. I'm wondering if you'll be able to play cards directly onto the enemy mat. That might be a way to let you target a specific person. Well, that assumes that we have spell cards that can directly affect anybody, which I think is not true. So at the moment, we're going to proceed with having all the signals hooked up through the party roster, since I don't think that we'll need to duplicate that behavior. What this should have, though, is this should have a... Might as well do it as one of this. At export variable roster sheet. Here's a bool. So if we're showing a roster sheet, we want to know. We want to know that. Otherwise, we want to know what the roster count is. And the roster limit. So we'll go to our party roster here. We'll have a ready func, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to say texture equals matte textures. And we'll say at export variable sheet index. No. Here, this is what we'll do. We'll say roster. Give me the roster count. That's not terribly safe, but we're just going to do it anyway. And then where's the enemy roster? Here we go. Rename enemy roster. Let me give you one of these scripts too. Extends unit roster. Probably help if these things existed. Another card mat. Enemy mat. Enemy mat extends card mat. I'm trying to do good. I just kind of want to make cards, but I'm gonna do good, and we're gonna actually sort out some of these interactions, so that we can play cards. Then we'll just make dozens of cards. We'll do that. We'll do that. There's probably gonna be some point this week where I just feel tired, and I'll crunch that out. We're gonna need a lot of cards. I'll tell you that. And then I'll decide what kind of workflow I want in terms of having the card, like the card data that I can pull down. I think I will just have a Google sheet that I can turn into a CSV, and then that CSV can be like parsed either as itself or as like a, maybe like a JSON file or something. Something easy. Something easy, and also something that lets me just work in a friendly spreadsheet program when I'm doing my balance and stuff. When I'm like changing everyone's attack at the same time. So we'll have to do the card. I'll have to make sure I do the card definitions that way, and then have a process for pulling that down and regenerating the resources based on that. That's going to be one of the slightly more tedious things to do, but I think that'll be very important for being able to manage the number of cards that we have going on here. Party mat. Enemy mat. Enemy roster. Party roster. On card dropped. So we've got this on card dropped signal. We've got this unit roster. It sets its texture based on that. So what I should do is I need to set up the enemy roster texture. So the enemy roster max is 6. So we actually can't, these rosters don't fit more than 6 characters. And that's okay. Because of how, that's okay for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is, one of the things that's okay about it is there's still summonable units, like temporary units. Those don't need to appear on the roster because those probably won't have equipment associated with them. Not that, I'm going to have to think about the enemy roster thing, how we want to do that in terms of like how much there should be there, and whether we could get away with doing less and maybe having room for more. But also what I was going to say is, from a turn-based standpoint, having more or less units than the other side in a turn-based system very quickly swings the difficulty, and it swings it very heavily. Hey, Fusionist, how's it going? Here, I'm going to leave this like this, and then once we finish setting this up, I'm going to see if that loads correctly. Also, this needs the icon part. How are you doing, Fusionist? We're on week 2 here of Party Wipe. Hey, David Huffman, how's it going? Welcome to our Roguelike Deckbuilder, where we are, where you draft an RPG party. How goes? What's on the menu today? Menus. Pretty much menus. I'm trying to work out all the card, not all, but I'm trying to work out the card playing part, and then we'll tie it into the turn-based battle map. But I'm starting with the card interactions, and we have some. I need to finish this, and then I can show you what we kind of got going on here. Was it a mistake not to call these cares rather than units? I think it's fine. I think cares would be confusing. Powers. Characters. Because care still already, like, means something. So let's grab our texture, Atlas textures. Oh, have I only made the enemy roster back? Well, let's fix that then. And let's do it properly. I don't know why I put empty as a thing. I would have liked it if it alphabetized a little better, but who cares? So let's go to our roster page here. How much it sways things is quote unquote is all caps heavily influenced by health and abilities. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure you're right, but it gets really egregious when you have something like a 4-to-1 or something like that. Like if there's only one enemy boss, the contrast in progress between days 1 through 3 and 4 to 7 is wild. Vita more. Yeah, that's part of the whole game jam approach, right? Is we are just cooking. We're not always working on what I would consider the highest priority thing, but we're always trying to make an impact. All right, so what I need to do... Oh, I don't need to do anything with this. What I need to do is the Atlas texture part, right? Righto. So I can actually rename these, huh? Because I renamed this. Can I rename this as well? Let's do that. I kind of wish I could see... I do kind of wish I could see A-Sprite files in the Godot editor. And I'm sure I could make that happen. Why do we have both the cards and the tabs? Whatever. Where's the sprite? But yeah, I'm pushing the aesthetics maybe a little too hard. But, you know, for the UI at least, it answers a lot of questions for me, especially because we're in pixel art land. I'm able to answer a lot of questions I have. Here, I'm gonna reverse this name. This is gonna be tabs, 1. Then at least empty will sort before the tabs. And then this will just say sheet. Thanks, Arnio. Well, why does this say tabs 1 and then this says 1 tab? Did I not rename this? Did I like... What did I do? How did I do this? That's weird. Delete that, I guess. I thought I renamed this. Oh, I duplicated it. That's what I did. Oops. Uh-oh. You know, maybe that's something that I should do a channel points thing for, is like play my game or like play my demo or something. Because I do want people to be able to submit stuff for me to play and stuff. But I want to like regiment it a little more. Maybe I need to do something like that. We are trying to figure out what to do with channel points. People are just accruing channel points and it has nothing to do with them. Maybe that's what I should do. That'd be nice. Yeah, okay. That's a good suggestion. I need to redo a bunch of the stream stuff. I'm gonna try to work on it this week. We need new sound effects that are like appropriate for making a D&D game. I think we gotta pivot away from all our Star Trek stuff. So I will be doing a look over of everything and like changing all the channel redeems and stuff. We'll look at that. All right, here's the party roster, Atlas sprites. So I can actually get rid of this back thing. Instead, what we could do is we could have a folder and it could say party. And we can move all the party stuff in there. And this one could be renamed to enemy. Enemy roster empty. Okay, now we make the rest of these. So now what I do is we open this. Actually, don't know how wide I want that. All right, so this is 0, 0. So what it should be is so Y238 is good. 128 by 62. Okay, so then what we do next is we just start incrementing by 128 and increasing the height. And decreasing this. So that's what I need to do is I need to decrease this. Increase this until we get whatever we need here. Almost. There we are. And then what we do is we save this as, go to the right folder here, roster, enemy, roster, empty, or enemy roster, tabs, 1. I'm really inconsistent about whether I put the name of the thing in the thing or not. I feel like that's a good thing to do when you're making resources, because you can't actually tell from the T-res what the thing is. I think that's a good thing to do for T-reses. Otherwise, you're just like, what's this Atlas? What's this T-res do? But if at least you have the kind of resource it is in the name, it's a little easier to tell. Yeah, I don't like the ones that like make me do things, obviously. I might turn the sit stand one back on. I need to start doing that. I'm a lazy POS. But yeah, you don't hold your breath for like a push-ups channel redeem. And unfortunately, my stream time is set by other people than myself. It's set by my responsibilities at work. I am not full-time game dev. I have a day job. As horrible as that sounds. Because believe me, for me, it's not great. Oh, the sheet comes before the tabs. That I don't want. We'll say unit sheet. Unit sheet. Atlas. Did I pluralize that? I did. I don't know why I did that. Did I pluralize any of these? No. Yeah, you probably do. Hey, Void Blit. Yeah, I know. You're telling me. You hoping that game dev will be your full-time job? That's the dream. That's the dream, David. It's definitely what I would consider the dream. All right, so... Okay, no, there we go. I love the previews that you get for all of these. The Godot file system interface is, like, actually pretty great. All right, so now we go over by another 128. Or we go up to 256. We decrement this. That was 26 down. So we add 26 to this. And that's the new one. And we save it. Where is, huh? Where's the thing? Am I losing my mind? Where's the thing that lets me Atlas texture. This is the thing. Is it this? What did I do to the interface? Whoa, that was not what I wanted to do. I've done something horrible here. I can't change this anymore. I can't like resave it as something. Oh, it's up here. No. I wanted to do a save as. It's gone. Interface is totally changed on me. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, if I come over, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do, Godot? How did I displease you so? I can't. Is this it? No, that's the dock. What the absolute heck happened? I used to be able to go grab this and be like save as and like swap out that thing. Atlas texture. This is the contains the atlas. This interface has totally changed on me somehow. Don't understand. I get that I'm like in some kind of state and it's being weird, but what in the world is going on? What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? Do you know Adventure Time? We were talking about Party Pat earlier, Void Blit, because of my Party Mat. So yes, I'm familiar with Adventure Time. And I'm familiar with the creator, Pendleton Ward. I don't know what I did here. I don't know what I did here, but I no longer have the little box that lets me save this as. Kind of annoying. That was the easy way to edit, to make multiple of these, was to do it that way. Now I have to roll this back. I don't know what's going on there. Whatever, we'll just make a new one. Doesn't matter. Atlas texture. Enemy, roster, tabs, 2, Atlas texture. Grab this, we'll set this. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. Roster. It's gonna make this slower. Yeah, it's totally gone. I clicked something and completely changed the interface. And now I don't know how to make it go. I don't know how to get it back. I don't know what I did. Huh. It's unfortunate. I can't get any of them to appear that way anymore. Where I could just have a thing here that I could click. Super weird. Oh, there's the save as. Okay, so yeah, I just totally changed this interface and I don't know how to make it go back. That's fine. That's funny. All right, so let's do this. And we will change this. We'll say, what did I say? We were gonna go down by 26, so that's 204. The height then becomes 96. We move this over. And then I go save as. And then I save it like that. So now we have the new one and the old one. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I must have dragged something around here such a way that it changed the interface. Different overlays on every stream. Yeah, it's... Pendleton Ward is the most low-key streamer, considering how just, like, incredibly famous he is as, like, a creator. Yeah. Dude is, like, one of the most, like, formidable animators of our time, and nobody knows he's on Twitch. It's crazy. Yeah, I've tuned into a couple of his streams because they're really good. $102, $122. No. $130. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think we're sizing up by 34 now. That's consistent. Should be easy. All right, we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas here. And then so if this is minus 34, this should become 136. And then this should become 164. And we got it. This is why I wanted the save as functionality. It makes this a lot faster. 640. $102. $200? Not quite 200. 198. $68 maybe? Ooh, that's too far. How did they cut? Why is that so far? Oh, is the change small now? Oh, I gotta move over first. 128, 7, 68. Well, that's still too much. Okay, so this is not actually changing that much. Do this by hand then. So that's 6 tabs, and then there's just one more, which is the very final 128, 76, 96, 896. So this is down. Had to look real closely on that one. $232. And this one saves as roster unit sheet. All right, okay, now we got all those, so we can plug those in now. Texture. Whoa, wait. Enemy roster, unit roster, enemy mat, party roster, party mat. Where's my base class here? Where's my interface? You're all unit rosters. Party roster extends unit roster. Enemy roster extends unit roster. Okay, so where is here? Here it is for the party roster. Why didn't that show for the enemy roster? Yeah, why doesn't that show for the enemy roster? Peculiar. Should I just reload the scene? Yeah, it doesn't seem to have done it. Hey, No Jewel, how's it going? Everyone's seeing your talk on YouTube. How's that? How's it being a celebrity? Why did I play this? I don't know. I'm gonna mess with the timings of that stuff. All right, so why are you being weird? Where is my export tab? Why does it show up here for unit roster, but not here? Type enemy roster, type party roster. Class name enemy roster, extends unit roster. Yeah, that looks good. That's all, that seems correct. So, in practice, why do you just straight up not want to show me the export characteristics of your base class? Why does that not please you to do so? Enemy roster does not display. So we see our texture rect. When we click the party roster, it shows us the unit roster just fine. Just fine. Enemy roster is set up identically. Does not show the unit roster. Why? Why? Just gonna change its type to this. Why did that go gray? That didn't work. I'm gonna undo that. I don't understand why when the script type is gray or not. I don't understand the logic of that. Nope. In Godot being weird with its inspector tab today, identical classes are not behaving identically, which is weird. It's because it's a node you created of that type versus adding a script to a node. Okay, so if I just add it instead, now it's white. Whoa, hold on a second. Oh, I see. I see what I've done here. Oops. Okay, I mean, so what if I do that here? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I don't understand the distinction, but that's okay. The feeling of the video being released and watched by other people was overshadowed by another thing. Oh, well, sorry about that. Revel in it, though. I'm just trying to figure out why the inspector won't show the base class of my node here. It shows this one, but not this one, and they are otherwise completely identical. The only thing different than them is that they're a different extension of the same base class. But if I look at their scripts, they're both class names, they both extend. Party mat as party mat. They don't really have anything except an onReady variable, and one of them has a signal right now. A good thing? Oh, good. Oh, did you get your funding? I don't know if that was a secret. And I shouldn't have said anything. You did. Huzzah. Even better. Everything is coming up no jewel. Which is great. Great to see. Yeah, what the heck is going on here? I'm tempted to delete this and just recreate it because I don't understand. I don't understand why why the game engine is behaving. You know, I'm just gonna close the engine and reopen it because I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on there. Engine is not behaving. All right, are you gonna show it to me now? Can you see? Can I see you now? Okay, this one's correct. So unit roster under the party roster. This one. There it is. It decided to join the party. All I had to do was completely restart the engine. Kind of annoying. But okay. Okie dokie. I didn't say Godot was perfect, but at least it's better than Unity. Add in my Atlas textures. And we can finally test this fucking feature. Yeah, I reloaded the scene multiple times, did nothing. Just sometimes you gotta try turning it off and on again, you know? Weird. Annoying. All right, so these are wrong. Let's see if when we run, it updates it to the correct one. It did, but it didn't resize. Or did it not resize? I bet it didn't. Is this one stretched? I can't quite tell, but it's probably stretched. Let's see. Let's dig into that. Texture. Is there a different command, like a container command, like set texture? Or did I just set up the container wrong? It's possible that I did that as well. It looked like it was going to resize on its own. And honestly, I feel like maybe it did for this one. Let's make this one way different so that we can see. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Absolutely not. Texture rect. Oh, is it because I didn't set a limit or something? Ah, whatever. Expand mode keep size is maybe wrong. Yeah, that's probably what I need to change. Hey, what's going on over here? Oh, that was just a graphical artifact. Oh yeah, the differences. More differences. So this one's automatically resizing. This one is not. Why? What's wrong with the enemy roster? What's wrong with you? Such a problem child. This one's limit is 6. They're totally identical. And one of them behaves one way and the other behaves another way, and I just can't. Okay, this one has a minimum, custom minimum size, which seems wrong. Okay, let's get rid of that. That shouldn't have had any effect, but maybe it does. Nope. All right, let's continue to eliminate differences with just extreme prejudice here. This one... Wait, why is this one larger than this one? That's not right. Why are they different sizes? Whoa. Oh, I'm doing the wrong part. This one. Why are you different sizes? Why are you 224 and you're like 236 or whatever? 232. Oh, wrong one again. Hey, thanks for the follow. Cyrix. Appreciate that. Okay, well, that's worthy of investigation. Why are you... A selected file does not exist. All right, let me go grab it. Why are you... What's going on here? So your size... Yeah, you're supposed to be 232. Did I might have plugged in the wrong one. That's what I might have done. Let's look here. Let's look at you. 896, 768. Oh no, you are 232. So what's happening? What's going on? Okay, now it's 232. Okay, 232. Okay, now when I run it. Okay, good. So now neither of them resize, which is at least consistent. I can live with the consistency. What was really killing me was the fact that they were changing. So we'll just... I had hoped... This says container updates this property automatically. But maybe what I need to do is there is a... It's probably the stretch mode. When resizing the node's bounding rectangle, I probably need to just allow them to stretch. The minimum size will be equal expand keep size. The minimum size will be equal to texture size. Yes. Oh no, that's correct. Why isn't it doing... Okay, stretch mode, scale. Scale to fit. I think I want stretch keep. Yeah, that's all I need to change. Stretch keep. Okay, so now we change this based on what's in the roster, and it will update and expand for that. Great. We've stopped drawing cards for some reason, which is interesting. Probably need to load this script back. I don't know. Maybe not. To deal default. Oh, it became 0 for some reason. 6. Yeah, this script is gray, but this script is definitely a script that I have added myself onto this file. So it's very weird that it continues to read as gray, but who cares? So now will we draw... Oh, the deck is empty. There's no deck. Why is there no deck? It looks like I reset a ton of my... Yeah, how did I... It was when I deleted that script. That's my bad. That's on me. Cards, decks, card deck. Deck name. Say starting deck, I guess. Put some cards in here. How's everyone doing? If you attach a script, it's white, but if you change type, it's gray. That is not the behavior that I'm noticing. So if I attach a script to this, it just continues to be gray. Because there is a script associated with a deck manager, but this is a new type that I've made. It's just weird. The Godot, the editor interface is being weird today, and that's okay. It's okay. I only notice it because it's usually so consistent. Is main deck manager a tool script? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe? Yeah, it probably is. But maybe not. I thought if it was a tool script, it would be blue, though. Is that not right? I don't think it's a tool script. No, it's not. Very weird. It's just weird. We live in a weird world. We live in a weird world of weird things. Okay, so now we have nothing. Okay. auto setup, starting pile. Draw pile. There we go. Oh no, my stagger is not set up. Well, this is kind of nice because it's not... I don't notice the weird UI thing that's happening. Whereas if I use a stagger draw, you start to notice the animation and kind of the awkwardness of it. Well, it's better if I have it go really fast like that, I guess. Kind of nice. I like a slower one. Like a slower draw delay, personally. I would also like for it to wait until it finishes dealing the last card before it flips. I think I can fiddle with all of that. But this is all right. We don't really care. We don't really care at this stage. I do really need more cards, though. But yeah, I want to have a little card animation or highlight for when you're hovering and selecting them. But that's the next thing. All right, so now I want to make it, so basically what I want to do is a number of things. I want to make it so that you can play a card onto the roster. Honestly, if you play it anywhere, it should go to the roster. I think we'll start by me having to actually physically play it over the roster. But what we could actually do is something really cheeky, which is that if this is empty, we could actually have the mat take up the whole screen so that you can't do anything until you've played something onto the mat, but we're not going to do that. Keep it simple for now. What we can do is we can hook up a... Well, I want to look at my solitaire example, because the solitaire example will have an indicator of how to play onto a mat. So that's just a regular card mat. And then your stack manages this. And so you probably have an on-card drop signal. Probably. I feel like you probably do. Somebody probably does. After any layout change. Okay. Container ready. We don't want pile drag. Set solitaire signals. Drop area dot card drop dot connect on mat card drop. Let's see that. It's probably what I should call mine too. All right, the source hand. So we want the card. I like the capturing of the state so we can do undo redo stuff because we definitely will want that. Source index, source hand.cards.find card if source hand is card container. Else -1. Okay. Drag stack. Source hand.get drag stack. Source hand is card, hand, else card. A card is a card container. Pretty sure. Drag stack is empty. Drag stack is an array of card. Oh my glob. Are we getting raided? Raid alert. Enjoy it while we still got it. Starlight raid. Hey Starlight, how's it going? How was the stream? Welcome. We're working on a new game of mine called Party Wipe. That is a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. We're on week 2. We're trying to just really aggressively work on a new game that's small. We've got our UI set up. We've got cards drawing. All you can really do is cycle your hand right now. We don't have anything else, so we're working on making it so you can actually play some of these cards, of which we have one, which we have exactly one. And then you'll battle. You'll play out these little turn-based battles as well. I'm very worried that I'm infringing upon the covert action rule here. Oh no, ads. Launched right into ads. Brutal. I'll give you the shout out. Hey, Schemer. I'll say hey because I see you have Turbo, so you're probably here hanging out with us still. We'll wait until Starlight's back from ad jail. How's it going, Schemer? I got a good eye. I don't read chat often, but when I do, I can see it all. All right, so what we want to do is I'm gonna rename this. We're gonna reconnect this signal. Reconnect it as on mat card dropped. And so when we drop, what we need to do is we need to move the card over. Trying to figure out how to play audio files with Node.js. Ooh, I don't know how to do that, but there are a lot of web devs in the chat here. Flip card. Card equals null. Source hand is solitaire hand and source index is greater than 0. Okay, this is a bunch of stuff I feel like I don't need. I'm a little concerned about this cards sourcehand.cards.find thing. Oh, what we do need to do is we need another card. So we have to emit that on the signal. So do we get that? Is that a thing that we get as part of the signal? Source. Maybe? Card dropped. Card. Yes. Great. So we get a card. So we can use that. Card. Okay, so we got our card. Card dot move to, and then ourself, because we are a mat. Oh, is the mat the container? Oh, the stack is a hand. Interesting. Very interesting. It's going to be weird to see how we set up our... So we have this character sheet that you're going to be playing your cards onto for like your items and spells and stuff. So you're going to be equipping your character. This guy's not level 1. I just haven't plugged in any of the numbers. I actually need to build this soon so you can do this. What I kind of want the card to do... I think if you're either on a character sheet or over the battle map, I kind of want the card to just turn into just the little portrait guy. I don't know how doable that's going to be or what the consequences of trying to do that is going to be. I want to do a swap to the center tile so you can actually see and you're not like... Or maybe the card will stay up, but it'll look like a tooltip or something as you drag it over this thing. You don't know if you explained. How's it going? Oh, no, I stopped. I was waiting for you to be freed from ad jail. How was your stream? What were you doing? Yeah, we're working on a new game. It's a weird little roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. So the cards are all the nouns. They're like the characters and the equipment and stuff. And so during the card game, you'll be equipping your different guys who will probably be dying and needing to be re-equipped. And then playing out a little turn-based battle. There's some interesting stuff with thinning the deck by trying to level up your units and items by either winning combats with them or like playing additional copies of the cards onto it to level them up and turn them into like newer versions of the cards. You took off from game dev today? Nice. You played and finished Mega Man Star Force. Ooh, that does sound fun. I haven't played a Mega Man game in ages. But yeah, all we're doing right now is we're trying to make it so... I always forget. Trying to just make it so you can get your card and play it into your roster to deploy your first unit. And I kind of want to do it a number of ways. I want you to be able to just play them directly to the board, which is part of the reason I want this to just... the rest of the card to go away and for it to just show the icon if it's a unit card. And then you could play it directly to the board. Or you could play it to the roster and then play it to the board. Like, if you just drag it to the roster... Honestly, if you just drag it anywhere, that's kind of what should happen. As long as there isn't a knight already on the field. But yeah, all I want to do is... get a roster tab going for that. So what do I need for that? I probably need to make the roster tabs. Yeah, I have them here. Roster tab, level 1 Atlas. Roster tab, level 2 Atlas. Let me look at these. Why don't I get sweet little icons for these? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the thing about that is we'll need information from the character to transfer over to this, but let's worry about that when we get there. Honestly, I kind of want to treat this as a hand. Or treat the roster tabs like they're a hand so you can rearrange them. But that might be easier to do another way. That might be easier to do with another kind of container. Because if it's a card, then I could, like, drag it off the mat, and then it will just always snap back, but I don't know. Whatever. Not an important thing to consider right now. You're also using you're using GDScript for this one instead of C#? Yeah, there's no reason to use C# for this. Also, I need a web build of this. So it's kind of out of the question. The game concept sounds neat. Yeah, that was a big part of this. I spent a while trying to identify the whole, like, a good game idea that fulfilled the problem of strong appeal, seems fun, and within a scope that I could do. And so the idea with this project is demo out by the end of the year. Release it early next year. Just knock a game out. Move on. Try to stop getting carried away with dream games that just require so much work and just never seem to go very far. Well, they do go far, but nothing ever really seems to happen with them. All right, so on mat card dropped. So when we drop a card here, we need to do a couple of things. We need to add a tab. We need to add a tab. That tab is a UI element. Should it be a card? It probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't. But it could, is the thing. It could. If I want to easily be able to reorder them, it probably should be a card. Or we at least treat it like a card. I wonder what it will look like to change the card, like, while we're moving it around. I wonder what that'll look like. I wonder what that'll mean. Are you using a plugin for the cards? Yeah, I'm using a plugin called Simple Cards plugin that handles a lot of the stuff here, like rearranging and reordering. Yeah, I think I will handle the tabs as cards, because then I can reorder them when they're here on the side. Because when you have your party members, they're gonna and enemies too, but they're gonna fill up the side here. So we'd get like a party roster tabs 4. Turn on 4 tabs here. So if you have a full party, it'll look kind of like this, right? And the tab coloring will change depending on what level they are. We're using card rarity and card level are the same for us. So like as your character levels up, their card back stuff will look different. So like if we grab the character sheet or whatever, UI character sheet. So like you'll start out with a poor level 1 character, and then they'll level up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it matches the rarity, right? And the other cool stuff happens, like they gain access to these class abilities down here, like, or spell slots, you could even think of them as. They're like spell slots, but everyone gets to have one, even classes that normally wouldn't cast spells. And they'll just have different things. And the spell abilities, or the abilities, spells, whatever you want to call them. I might call them abilities because that's kind of ambiguous, right? Like I could tell you have an ability, or I could say someone has an ability, and that could be a spell, or it could be like a class feature. It could be like Second Wind for a fighter, or like Fireball for a wizard, or whatever. And that way you have some flexibility in what you want to do. Or what you're going to do based on what you think you're up against. So yeah, so how is this going to work? So this is going to be a hand. The hand stuff, so I have the player hand defined here. It has a shape. So I can define a shape. I can define a line shape. Line arrangement shape for card containers. Yeah, so I can just do a line shape. And then what we need to do is, rather than copying the card over, we need to like do a swap. So there needs to be invisible piles, card piles here, that keeps track of and holds on to characters. Because if a character dies, all of its cards will go back into the discard. So we need to keep track of all the cards. You need to lock in and release something too. Yeah, this has really helped. This is like a week and a half of progress. From nothing to like having like a UI layout figured out and like getting card mechanics going. It feels good. It feels good to just be aggressive and be willing to use plugins and assets, and to not be as precious about doing everything myself from scratch, which is my inclination. I am fighting against my natural inclination here a lot, is how it feels. But yeah, so we're going to make a hand. Should the roster be a hand then? Maybe? Oh, this didn't resize again. Or maybe that's my fault. Because I substituted this in. This should have resized when I did this. So like if I do this. Oh, it's not resizing anymore. Stretch mode, keep. this be like shrink? Is that the problem? No, that's not the problem. That's okay. Maybe the mat is not going to resize. Maybe the mat is not going to resize. Because I would like you to just be able to drag a card over to the left and it kind of just plays it. And in fact, it should show you the addition on the roster before you let go. There should be like a preview thing. So maybe the party roster is not a texture rect. Let's try that maybe. So let's say texture rect. Then I could make the party roster have all these different things. This is going to require some actual UI control node layout stuff to make this work correctly. Let's say party rect, I guess. $128, $232. Layout. Anchors. Full rect. Just be keep. And so this, we will put, this is where we'll put the actual texture. And then I don't care if this resizes or not, really. Right. Just bought a dishwasher finally. Very hype. Oh, nice. I spend a lot of time doing the dishes, so I get that. Alright, so now we need to change this, though. So we got party mat. We need this as well. And then the base version of this is not going to do this anymore. It's not going to handle this. Oh man, it was nice to do it this way, though. It's fine. I'm going to say at abstract. Might not be a bowl. This might be something else, but doesn't really matter. So what we're gonna do here is we'll say on ready. Say func on ready. We'll say party rect dot texture equals matte textures. What does the party mat extend from? Just a panel? Okay. I could make that a texture panel, though, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go with it. We'll work around it where we have to. You got fed up with your little countertop unit that came with the place? Ooh. Yeah, I've looked at those. Doing the dishes is nice. Roster count. And then so the enemy one is going to need to do that as well. Funk. Ready. Keep. All right, is this going to work? Oh, you know what would help is if I change these types to just be a control node. Tempted to make my own little icon for rosters, but let's not do that right now. We're gonna purposely pick one that's wrong here. See what happens on ready. Crash. Script inherits from native texture rect, so it cannot be assigned to an object of type control. Oh yeah, duh. The doy. Okay, the enemy one updated. This one, the party one did not, for some reason. Did your array get reset? No. So what's wrong with you? What's your damage? I didn't make a class for this, did I? No, it's text direct. Oh, on ready. Duh. Okay. All right, so now we've separated that, and now there's a mat that covers this whole area. And then so when you drag this over here, what it should do is it should highlight that thing and then expand it and show you the roster tab for a level 1 knight on there. And then when you let go, it'll remove this card from here, put it into like an invisible pile for that tab. Okay. And then give me one of those little roster tab cards. Which I guess these should be the other way, maybe? Well, let's figure this out. So we'll say We've got the party roster, party mat, party rect. What we want is the party hand as well. So a hand. We want a card hand. Nothing can be played out of the roster hand, though. Like, all you can do is rearrange them. You could rearrange the enemy ones too. So this could be, we could do common functionality here. So we'll make a new script. Call it roster hand. It'll expand, it'll extend from card hand. Its name roster hand extends card hand. Give it an icon. Give it the hand icon here. And we'll create a new child. It'll be a roster hand. Oh, hold on. Thought I managed that correctly. Yeah, probably is a loading problem. Roster hand, create that. Boy, update. Did I not set this one up to update? Yeah, I did. It's a reloading problem. Just reload. Maybe I need to make all of those like tool scripts or something. I don't know. This project lags, has way more startup lag than any other project I've done, and I think it's the sheer number of tool scripts that are in the card plugin. All right, there we go. It's the correct size now. Roster hand. We'll rename it party hand. And it'll be above the mat. What's the draw order? It's got to be lower, right? Yeah, so it's here. Party hand. It's got a roster hand associated with it. And then what we can do is we can establish, we can set up. So layout wise, it's inherited. It should be anchors and it should be. So one of these actually does need to change, and it's this one, I think. So I think the hand is actually a child of the rect here. That doesn't totally make sense, actually. Maybe this just has a size that's static. I'm gonna do the thing we always do, which is to empty style box that so we don't see it. We'll manually specify this. So I actually don't know how big the roster tabs are offhand here. They're 128 by 32. All right, so and there's a bit of a margin. So 32 times 6. I think we're gonna need to resize this quite regularly, but that's okay. I'm already at the point where I'm like trying to do something cheeky with the plugin. That's okay. We'll give this a line shape. Max width. Alignment, card rotation. Alignment center. Oh, so here's line rotation. Oh, hell yeah. I think I will need to redo these atlas textures. Or maybe these things themselves to be sideways. Because I don't think this is going to display the way I want it to. Max cards. Oh, this actually can have a max cards, huh? Nice. 6. So there's a line rotation and then there's a card rotation. I want the line to be rotated 90 degrees because it's a vertical list, and I don't think the hand is going to think of that in that term. Although maybe it will, because there's... Let me see how the solitaire one does it, because the solitaire has those stacks, right? So maybe this isn't a line, maybe this is a stack. Okay, no, a stack doesn't have any characteristics, so maybe it is a line. And maybe I just rotate the line. So what if the line is 90 degrees? Card spacing. Maximum distance between card centers. That should be 17. I think. Maybe we just say 18 just to round up. Alignment. Okay, alignment of cards within the max width. Yes, we want begin. Okay, so this can be... We can actually do this, I think, with one static size container. I don't think I need to resize it, which is very helpful. And so if we look at the tabs... Look at our roster tabs. We open this up. I don't think we use these anymore, so I'm going to get rid of them. There's no padding here, but it's 192. If I added padding, if I added 2 pixel padding between 6 cards, it's another 10. So it would be 202. So we'll do that. We'll go for 202. Why is your anchor all the way over there? Anchor, top left. Oh, top left of the I get it. Never mind. All right, so what I need to do, which is not something I've got set up yet, is the ability to transfer cards from one hand to another. At first, we'll just keep the card, but what I want to do is I want to be able to hide the actual card in like a list or something. Or delete the card and just recreate it when we need to discard it. Max width. Maximum width of the line. 202. Cards won't rotate. Okay, so then all I need to do is be able to get the cards into this hand here. So I already have an extended script for roster hand. So when the deck deals, what it does is it deals from a pile to here, and then the discard is we're doing moves. So we have this move function. So how does Solitaire do it? Do card, we move the card to. Do you duplicate this card? Card. No. No duplication. Card dropped from drag. Dot emit. Is this one of ours or is this a basic? No, that's one of ours. Carries pre-move state so the undo system can record the action. I mean, this is slick. We should do this. We're going to need a pretty robust undo redo here. So I think what's happening, so this is a stack. Stack doesn't have any characteristics to it, so we can't use it. The pile has a line shape. It is also rotated 90 degrees, but the cards are not rotated. Yes, okay, so yeah, this is what we want. We want a line shape. So when a card gets dropped onto this mat, we don't need to do quite so much of this. Source hand. So are we deleting candidate card, source hand, card, .get parent. We're doing some solitaire stuff here that's, I think, distracting. But the thing I want to make sure, so when we do a move to call, target container config. Not target can accept card return. Yes. Good. Reparent to target. Okay, good. So all the parenting stuff is being handled. Killing the tweens. Sounds terrible when you just read that out in a line of dialogue here, or in a line of code here, but kill all tweens. That's crazy. Apply move. Apply target rotation. So we are going to... So what we'll probably do is we'll silently move this into another pile, and then what we'll probably do is create a roster tab card that is like a alias for it or something that carries over some of the information, and then we can store it as a tab, as like one of the little shortened tabs that we've got. Solitaire, was this solitaire hand? Yeah. So all we really need to do is grab the card and then move it to the hand. And then this has a signal. Oh my glob. Are we getting raided again? Double raid? Hide the code. Covino. Somehow simultaneously both yoinking us and dropping an anvil on our heads. Captain Coder, good to see you. Savage Lord Severus, welcome in. Samikins, Simran, how's everyone doing? We are working on a new project. We're in week 2. We're like a few days into our second week of a new roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party called Party Wipe. And we're working on the card mechanics part of it. We have pretty good, we're doing okay in terms of what's going on. We're dealing cards. We've got cards we can do. We're using a plugin, which we're fiddling around with to get the other behavior that we want. We're drawing and discarding, and that's about all we got so far, but I'm pleased with the art that I've done so far for the cards and everything. But yeah, we're trying to get a demo out for this by the end of the year. I'm trying to do, I put my dream game on pause, and I'm trying to do something fast. Something fast and dirty. How are you doing, Covino? Part of the yoinking. 10 out of 10 name. Ooh, thank you. Yeah. I feel really good. This game scores high on the appeal times fun divided by scope metric that like Jonas Tyroller uses for a game idea. But yeah, I'm trying to see if I can release a game using game jam processes and workflows instead of my usual dream game stuff. So we're being super aggressive. We're using like asset packs for like the sprites. I've done the UI stuff myself, but we're using like assets, we're using plugins, we're like being very aggressive. The trick of this deck builder is that like the cards are the nouns, not the verbs. So you'll have a party and your party members will have like character sheets and they'll have equipment that lets them do things. So your whole thing is going to be trying to like deploy and equipping characters that are very often dying and using them to fight out these little tiny tactical battle map battles. And your goal is obviously to not party wipe. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Something kind of new, different. It's exciting. It's terrifying. We're trying to misuse the card hand system that this plugin has to handle our little party roster of like the different characters that you deploy. I'm going to treat these as like cards so that you can reorder them like they're just regular cards. We're kind of abusing the system a little bit to make this work, but it's pretty cool. It's a really great plugin. It's called Simple Cards. What are you even up to? You're at the final stage of game dev where it's just pure pain, but we're pushing through. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Good to see. Great to hear. All right, so what we need to do is we need to be able to drop a card into this mat area. We'll probably have a highlight. In the same way that we have a highlight version of this for this, we'll probably have a highlight version of the roster so that you can tell that you're playing it in the mat area. And it will preview like the roster tab, which I guess means the roster tab is a different card, obviously. And we can preview it as you place it if it can be played. And then when you let go and you're like, I'm playing this. This should happen if you're just grabbing a knight card. If you already have a knight played, then what it should do is it should bring up the knight character sheet and calculate what its XP gain would be for getting another knight card played. That's kind of the level up mechanic, is you try to play the same kind of cards. You try to play the same cards. And if you play enough of them, they combine together into higher rarity and higher level versions of themselves. So we have like card rarity and leveling is the same thing here. We've got like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 common, magic, rare, epic, legendary, you know, pretty typical. This is the wrong color, is it not? It is. I wonder how many of these have the wrong color. Probably just this one. Hopefully just this one. I guess we'll double check real quick. Holy orange Batman. Yeah, this is looking pretty convincing. Hey Rob, how's it going? Have you started working on code or is it still only art? We're doing code. Is it still only art? The disrespect. No, I'm kidding. I pushed the UI pretty hard. Gotta get your marketing. Gotta up your marketing game always. Are we crashing? What's happening? There we go. Yeah, we can draw a hand and we can discard a hand. So how's that? How's that for code? How are them codes? Most of the work is being done by the plugin. But what I'm working on now is making it so I can play these cards. That's the next thing. Actually be able to play the card. I really want a card hover thing. So when you're like hovering on a card, it changes color and like lifts up out of the hand. But Rob would consider that art, so we'll keep working on this. Okay. I don't mean to pick on you. You crack me up. You crack me up. Keep me honest. Keep me honest throughout this process. If it feels like I'm working on something dumb, let me know. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. All right, so the trick for us here. I wonder if what we want to do is we want to do a signal off of the player's hand when there is a card that has been... So I have a signal for when there's a position change and a card reorder. There is no signal for... We also have card added and card removed. What I don't have is something that lets me know when I'm dragging this card. That's kind of what I want to know. I guess there is a signal off of the card itself. I need to find that signal. So base card layout. Where would this be? This would be a card. This would just be like a card thing, right? Like the card script. Let me see about this. So cards, card layout, card resource, card. Default card size. Simple card with basic drag and drop functionality. Emitted when the card is pressed but not dragged. Emitted when mouse enters card area. Emitted when mouse exits card area. Okay, so there's signals that I can connect to, which is probably something I should do when I when I fill the draw deck. I should connect all these cards because I can tell when a drag has started. And I can tell what card is doing that. And that is useful. Emitted when method flip is called. Oh, neat. I feel like this doc is slightly wrong. Oh no, I'm reading these in the wrong order. Emitted when drag threshold exceeded. I see. Maybe we do want clicked then. Card clicked. Because even if it's just clicked, we might want to change the state and show things, regardless of whether you drag it or not. But maybe when you start dragging it, that's when I want to change it to be like a little icon or something. Yeah. So maybe when the drag starts, we change the card from being the big card to just the portrait icon. And then you can do things like play it on a character sheet or play it on the board. Something like that. Lurk, no worries. Thank you. We'll probably keep this raid train going soon here. But I'll hang out for a bit first. Rob, you're both a programmer and artist, so you like both. You were just asking since you do a lot of art recently. Maybe getting the core systems done first would be optimal. Do you not consider being able to play cards a core system? No. I know I could do this with literal gray boxes. Not worth it. Better to have some degree of UI. You answer a lot of questions when you do stuff like that. When you actually like try to make the thing that you're gonna use to do the thing. But I get it. A large part of this is about moving quickly and prototyping quickly and doing things quickly. But it is helpful to have, like, I had to work out what the layout of, consider that important. That lets us know things like how much space do we have for the battle map? How much room is on each card? How much information can you fit onto each card? Like, doing the character sheets was super useful because I only had so much room for the character sheet. So knowing how big the character sheet was, knowing how much information we could fit on it, all of these are useful things to know. And not something you can find out if you just aren't doing the art. If you're just like, it's a plain gray box of nebulous size. I'm not criticizing your suggestion or your approach. I'm just saying there's a level of moderation that's called for here. I don't think strict gray boxing is always the best choice, but obviously the, going super crazy in game art is not great either. There's like a mid ground somewhere where everything is being worked on. It all talks to each other. A design decision one place influences the design decision somewhere else. Like, the main problem of game development is integration. It's easy to make any individual element of a game. The hard part is like, how does it all combine together? So did I break this because I deleted the sprite? No, okay, we're on the right sprite. All right, so I've got these stupid little tab atlas things. What I need are cards for them. You agree? Okay, good. Okay. I didn't think we were that far off from each other in terms of our thought process. It's just, it's nuance. Nuance doesn't really get communicated very easily in chat. You know how it is. Cards, roster. So roster cards. The character sheet is probably not a card. But I don't know. I don't know that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a tabs folder. And we're going to start making... We need to make a layout. So we have our base card layout. The base card layout is doing too much, I think. The base card layout is making these assumptions. But maybe that's okay. Maybe the roster tab will be on a different branch. Card level borders. No, I do want to share actually a lot of the behavior. Hey, Maestro, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. How are you doing, Rob? What have you been up to? You're catching us kind of at the end here. We're probably going to raid out soon. I got to get back to work. Unfortunately, I have a day job. But believe me, every minute that I'm not doing my day job, I'm pretty much working on this. So there's level left text, level right text. Struggling with a little class layout, class extension question, which is whether I want to set totally separate lineage for the playing cards versus the roster tabs. And I think what we'll do is we'll have a tab card layout, and I think maybe it will be somewhat different. I don't want to use the term base card layout if it's not actually the base card. Which makes me think I either need to remove some things here. Yeah, I think we're going to remove some of these things here, which is going to require me to rebuild some of this stuff, but that's okay. So there will be a card front. Forget about this stuff. We want to remember the card suit icons. We want to remember the card level borders. However... Okay, yeah, we are going to wrap this up. I'm going to totally break this. Is what I'm going to do. So this is a tool, and it's also going to be an abstract. In which case, having these exports is not super helpful. Because I don't actually want to set these up. Although, actually, hold on a second. The tabs would have a different setup for this. So maybe we do want to set that up like that. Although most of them are going to use the same one, huh? We might rename this card textures. Oh, that doesn't really... Level borders, I guess, is fine. Because, yeah, if we have these tabs set up as cards, they will behave a lot differently than a regular card. But they do need to fill in with the same kind of information as a lot of cards. So our base card layout is going to be kind of broken because it includes these level things, these level indicators. And it includes these export dictionaries where we keep track of the cards that we need. Okay. All right. I think I know what the next step is, but I do need to break a ton of stuff and create a bunch of different kinds of cards. Not create the cards, but create the card layouts so that I can set up these roster tab layouts along with these playing card layouts. And I also need the tile card layout, which is going to be if it's just this portrait thing. And that's going to be so you can play them onto a character sheet or onto the battle map. I think I would like for them to turn into, for the rest of this to fall away and it's just the item. And then it behaves like a chit. Loop Hero does this really well, where you can see there's a transition from like when you put it onto the board or as you start to put it on the board, there's this really neat transition for the cards. And I like that. And I want to emulate a similar thing. But let's see. We got to keep this raid train alive. Oh, ads are about to start. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to pause that, and we're going to figure out where we're going to go here. Wallaber's on. Hypnotic maybe just started. Aaron's going.
I don't know what y'all think, but I
Probably,
think that's perfect.
probably Hypnotic or Wallaber. Hypnotic just started. Oh, Wallaber just started too. I think I went to Hypnotic recently. Let's go hang out with Wallaber. They're making a really great game called 4x4 in a furniture store. I think we've got a demo out. I think they've got the demo out now, maybe? I'll have to double check. Yeah, this has been Party Wipe development. We're working on this a ton every day. I just now realized I forgot to put my lights on, which is maybe why I look a little weird. Blame the lights, Dave. Blame the lights. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Do more of this. Keep working on it. We'll see. We'll see what I get done tonight. I'm really going to try to get that card placement stuff figured out. I think it's once we're able to play cards onto the roster and then play cards onto the character sheets in the roster, we are going to be good. We're going to be, I think it's not going to actually be that hard to get the rest of the card interactions to work. And then I'll be happy to just start working on the battle map stuff, the actual tile based stuff. So I think we're looking good. I think this is going to be fun. Looking forward to good progress this week as we barrel towards some live playtesting in about 9 weeks, I think. 9+ weeks. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Enjoy the raid.